More news at 6 today. And you're still listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Sandra Ezekwesili. Whenever you hear the 5 p.m. news update, you know it's time for the big hard facts. And that means that from now until 6, we're diving deep into one big issue in Nigeria today. And today that topic is insurance. The topic came up for us because of the recent fires that we've had here in Lagos and in Anambra State. We've seen markets burned. We've seen communities like the one in Ebute-Metta on Friday. And whenever these things happen, we talk about how the victims have lost valuable property. And in the case of the traders, merchandise. And that always makes me ask, were they insured? And so often the answer is no. And it brings me to today's big hard fact. Last year, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, insurance contributed 0.5% to our GDP. So that means that all the money spent in a year by Nigerians on buying insurance on their lives and their health and their property was only half of 1% of Nigeria's GDP. This makes us number 77 in the world, by the way, based on data from the OECD. The top African country is South Africa with 1.82%. That's almost 4 times our percentage. The Nigerian Insurers Association, NIA, has said that only 15% of cars on our roads have valid insurance. So for every 20 cars you see on the road, 17 do not have insurance. 17! Are you one of them? I wonder. Are you one of the 3? I am one of the 3. So obviously we have a big problem in this country where a lot of Nigerians do not have insurance, and there are lots of reasons why that's the case. And we're going to get into a lot of these reasons today. But one of the big reasons why is that there's simply not enough awareness about what insurance is, why you need it, how to get it reliably, and how to use it when you need it. So today we're going to be discussing all of that. We'll give you more information. We will also talk about some of the challenges and the issues that the insurance industry faces in general. And I'm not alone. As usual, we have an expert to discuss this particular issue, to provide us with some insights by answering questions that you or I may have. It's going to be very interactive. So whatever questions you have about insurance, you better call into the show today to ask them. I have on the show with me today the Regional Director, Retail West Region at Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC, Mr. Tokbe Ilesami. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Okay, so as usual, don't forget that you who's listening at home or in the office, you're my most important guest. I want to take calls from you as you listen. So call about your insurance questions. Share the experiences you have. Do you have insurance? Is it car insurance? Is it fire insurance? Is it health? Is it life insurance? Have you ever needed to make a claim on your insurance? How did it go? What made you start getting insurance? And if you don't have insurance, call us and tell us why as well. Now, Mr. Lesame, I want to start at the very basics. What is insurance and why does my listener need it?
Insurance is actually one of the program that is also provided for people to secure their property, secure their lives. It's very, very important. As long as you are doing business or you are alive, you face risk. There's element of risk in everything that you do. And then when you call something a risk, it then means that you really do not have, you have little or no control by it. And they must happen, but you can't determine the timing. You cannot predict this is the time that this thing will occur, whether it will occur or not. So there is element of uncertainty in whatever you are doing. Insurance makes provisions. Insurance is a tool or a device that is provided to take care of such of incidences of this risk that will come that you don't have control over it. And that is all about insurance. Insurance takes away anxiety from you You can buy your car and drop and park it outside with you and going in for a meeting without necessarily looking through the window to check whether your car is still there, or maybe it has been taken, or maybe the fire has burnt whether fire has burnt the car or anything has happened. You are there wherever you are doing your meeting. You are there 100%. If you want to go into investment, business investment, you don't need to start looking at it that, oh, what happened if my car had an accident on the road tomorrow? Because most of the things that makes us not to go into such investment is possibly those risks that we don't have control over. So as long as you know that there is a provision where such risk can be transferred, then of course you know you are secured. You can go into businesses, you can make money, and you can make a living. So insurance guarantees your living. Insurance preserve your wealth. Your wealth are those assets that you have. You know that, okay, if this thing is stolen, if fire burns this, if my property is destroyed, I know I can face somebody that will take such responsibility. They will take such shock away from me. That is all about insurance.
Now, there's a lot
we need insurance.
There's a lot of confusion, Mr. Ilesemi, about how insurance works, and this confusion leads to mistrust of insurance companies. Some people accuse insurance companies of being money doublers or of running a Ponzi scheme. So can you break down exactly how insurance works? How is it that if you have the money to pay me how is it that you have the money to pay me a large claim in the event of a fire or illness or car collision when the money that I paid you as a premium maybe is much smaller?
Okay. You see, right from the world when insurance, the time when insurance started just like a normal contribution amongst people. They feel that, look, how do we take care of incidences of shock that one person among the group will suffer, such that his business will not go down? Let's be contributing a small amount of money, so that we keep this money aside, we set it aside. If any of us had incidences of misfortune, we can dip our hands into this money that we've already saved somewhere and help her out or help him out. That's all about the concept of insurance. So insurance operates with pool. There are two areas that we are looking at for me to address this particular question.
Okay.
It operates in form of a pool.
Okay.
And that's the reason why you see all insurance marketers, they try as much as possible to grow this pool. For instance, you have a motor insurance pool, and a motor, maybe the current rate on motor that is thriving in the market, maybe 5% of the cost of the vehicle. It then means that only 5% of the value of your car that I collected as premium. It then means that for me to generate the total value of your car, which is about 1 million naira, and I'm collecting just 50,000, I need to generate transactions times 20.
So I need to get that 50,000 from 50,000 people.
From 20 people. Are you getting it? So the marketer should walk around, take as many vehicles as possible, deposit as many premium, this small premium as possible into that pool. So it is from that pool that your claim will be settled when you have it. And you see, a lot of discussion has happened in so many events that people will say, no, because I did not claim last year. The insurance companies, they are thieves. They are taking my money. They're supposed to have returned my money back. The fact that you did not claim last year, because it's a pool. As long as you are contributing to the pool, you are a member of that pool. Are you getting it?
Yes,
now?
I'm getting you.
Yes. So you are a member of that pool. So as long as somebody else, if you did not claim this year, somebody will claim within the year. It then means that your money forms part of that money that was used to settle the other man's claim. That's the way insurance companies operate. But the history, the news about the image of the industry has been on for quite some time. In fact, as a matter of fact, as a young boy when I left university, I never knew I would join insurance company because the same news you share today was the news we've been hearing all along. People keep saying, oh, these people are fraudulent. They don't pay claims. They collect this. I never knew that I'll find myself in this industry. But coming to this industry, insurance industry is one of the most regulated industry in Nigeria as it were now. Every operations, every steps of the insurance system is controlled by our regulators, and they monitor the system such that the possibility of fraud within the system is at the minimum level.
Okay. Before we go ahead to talk about risk levels, some people who are listening to you right now, they may ask, are you wishing me evil? Why are you planning for these bad things to happen to me? It's not my portion. To them, what do you say?
Well, you see, even for us that we attend churches or we attend mosques, we still pray for God's protection. But most times too, we find ourselves in a difficult situation that we cannot help ourselves. And that's the reason why God gives us wisdom. In fact, even the Bible says that in all your getting, get wisdom. So the wisdom is all about taking up insurance. Are you getting it now? You apply wisdom. Apply wisdom. For instance, we are just talking about the fire that just happened. Wisdom, what would take you to pay 50,000 naira to secure hundreds of millions of properties that your entire life depends on? Is wisdom. It's wisdom. Honestly, it's wisdom. And if you say, when people are discussing insurance, how much is the money?
So is it a lack of wisdom, Mr. Lesami, in your experience?
Honestly, it's lack of wisdom.
That is the biggest reason why Nigerians are not buying insurance. What is it? What is the biggest reason?
I want to believe maybe in terms of education, people are not properly educated about
insurance,
the need for insurance. Okay. And that's the reason why I want to especially thank your radio station who put this particular program on air for people to hear about insurance. People actually do not know the benefit of insurance. Sometimes they believe in that old view that insurance doesn't work, and people refuse to change. You know that even evil stories spread fast. People don't really want to change. And maybe another reason is just based on the fact that, okay, we lack wisdom. Sometimes the needs of the society too, when you put your needs on the scale of preference, you realize that your insurance needs takes the least. These are various issues that will make people not to take insurance. But I want to tell you that honestly, no matter how much your needs could be, insurance should take the first place in your scale of preference.
Now let's talk about the successes a little bit before we talk about the challenges. What type of insurance is selling the most here in Nigeria?
Can you come again, please?
What type of insurance is selling the most here in Nigeria? Before we talk about the challenges of insurance, let's talk about the successes a little bit. What type of insurance is selling the most in Nigeria?
In Nigeria, we have compulsory insurances, and definitely based on the natural nature of every Nigerian, if you are not compelled to buy, you may not necessarily buy. Okay. So Motor is one of those insurance products that sells the most in Nigeria. But when you look at the statistics, you just said it now, just about 15% of the cars on the Nigerian roads are actually insured. But of course, you see that most products that people want to buy, whether third party or comprehensive, is basically motor. For those insurances also that also compulsory, that the contractors are doing for the corporate end, that if you want to deal with the major oil companies, or you want to deal with companies of international repute, definitely they will request for insurance documents. So definitely you must do those ones. But in Nigeria, as it were now, maybe on the scale of 1 to 7, maybe motor will take the first place as the most one of the products that is selling more in insurance industry.
Now, what? Go ahead.
Okay. Maybe the next one could be maybe the property insurance in terms of your fire, the insurance on fire, especially for corporate ends. They will do that because maybe those ones are also made compulsory for people to do. But the major insurance that actually supposed to be selling more based on the nature of average Nigerians business outlook should have been the fire that, because every area, if you go to Balogun, go to Tejo, show you see a lot of companies there, all these small scale companies. But you see, it's a lot of risk. If you take up a fire insurance cover in those areas, you know that whatever your life depends on is protected from day one. That is the major insurance that people are supposed to be buying. Because you need to secure what your life depends on. You know, and that's the reason why I keep saying it's all about lack of wisdom. People can afford to spend billions of naira to acquire assets, but to spend just 10,000 naira to secure it become a problem.
You know, the governor was talking about the people who lost property in the recent fire incident at the market on the island. And he said something interesting. He said that probably 80 to 90% of the affected people did not have fire insurance.
Yes.
Can you tell us how fire insurance works?
For us, fire insurance protects your properties against the actual fire, and there's something we call the peril, which is peril is just a broad word that covers those incidences of risk that is associated with fire that you cannot minimize. For instance, if you are talking about earthquake, there's nothing you can do about earthquake.
Okay.
A flood is coming, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. And that's, we classify all these areas as special peril.
Okay.
But the actual fire that you see that the fire is burning, that is fire. You know, so that's exactly what fire covers. Normally we call it fire and special peril.
I see.
You know, peril area is the earthquake, the flood, and all other risks that are underneath. So these are peril, and that is exactly what it covers. If you buy your property, if there are incidences of fire on the properties, you call on your insurance company to come and pay.
Okay, so what happens is when you buy the property, or as a market woman, if I have a store in, say, Balogun Market, I will tell the insurance company to come and cover the property in my store.
Yeah, if you have a store, one, you need to look at, there are two things. It's either you are the owner of the store, or you rent the store.
Yes.
You know, if you are the owner of the store, it then means that you need to cover both the store, as in the physical, the
property
actual,
itself.
Yeah, the property itself, and also the content, which is with the stock in trade that you have inside the store.
Okay.
Now, you have an idea of what you have in your store. Whether, for instance, let's take a textile store, for instance. You have an idea of the worth of the textiles that you have inside your shop.
Inside the shop, okay.
So, of course, you can give us the classification, this particular item, this lace, this is the range of the price. For the Ankara, this is the range of the price. We take all these, we sum them together, it gives us a single value, which we call the sum assured on the content. The value of the house, the property itself, it also has a property, it also has a value. Whatever you assuming you bought it or maybe you erected the building by yourself, you have the value of those assets.
Of that as
So
well.
we put all this together and we applied what we call a rate on it.
Okay.
And by the time we applied the rate, it gives us the premium. So, and that premium, the moment it is charged, it covers you for 365 days. For a whole year, it is covered.
Okay.
But there are some of these requirements because as your stock is moving in, your stock, some of them is, as you are buying more stock, you are selling. So you need to maintain a stock record.
I see.
So your stock record shows the flow of movement of your products over time. Because the incident, the misfortune can happen anytime. At the time you don't know. So these stock records must be kept in a safe place, possibly in a fireproof
safe. Why is it important?
Safe.
Why is it important to keep that record?
It is very, very important because at the point of claim, that is the record that the insurance company will refer to.
I see.
They need to know what is the level of stock in your shop or in your store at the point of fire.
So they need to know that you're not lying about how much.
Of course. Yes. So we need to know. This is the number of Bonvita in my shop. I have so number of carton of Bonvita. I have so number of carton of Milo, and this. Your stock record will continue. We have all that.
Have all of that.
So
what if I don't have an updated record? What happens?
Of course, you see, it is very, very important for you to keep records because insurance itself thrives on records. Insurance itself thrives on records, and that's the reason why it is when you take up insurance, a policy document is given to you. A policy document gives you everything about the details about the contract that you are going into. So your stock records must be maintained. In fact, most of the time you keep it inside a safe that is fireproof, or you even take it outside the shop.
Okay.
So that you have a copy somewhere. So that else. In case when misfortune come up, you can pick this document, you give to your insurance company. They will look at it item by item. They will look at the flow, and they can add it up. They will tell you that, okay, this was your exposure as at the time of loss.
I see.
And that's what they are going to pay.
Now, let me tell you something. One of the major complaints that I hear from consumers, especially when it comes to car insurance, is that they often end up being duped and buying fake insurance from fake brokers. Why does this happen? How does this happen?
Well, I keep wondering why people will be buying fake insurance from fake brokers. The names of insurance companies that are approved by regulators are everywhere. It's in the public space. People know these names.
No, don't assume that people know.
Okay.
Don't assume that people know that the names of insurance companies are in public space.
No, I think the major problem is not that people don't know, and I think it's just your initial statement that people believe that the insurance doesn't work, so they are so careless about it. Most times, you see, I have a brother, for instance.
Okay.
He will just when he wants to buy his insurance. A friend wants to buy his insurance, he will just tell his driver, "Go and get me insurance." One day I visited him and I said, "You bought insurance?" There, yes. I just sent my driver and he brought me this. And I saw the name of the insurance company. I don't want to mention the name. One of those old generation insurance companies that was there even after that period. So people will come up with all this. And that's exactly what is giving insurance company or insurance industry a bad name in the society. People really do not care about which insurance product they are buying. It's just like I want to save my money in the bank, and I gave it to somebody, just go and put it anywhere. No, you need to show care. There is this duty of care that is required from everybody. When you are buying up insurance, know that you are doing a savings. Have an expectation of value that you want to derive from such from such
Do
transactions.
you know why I'm talking about this? Because
Yes,
last year, the National Bureau of Statistics said that
yes,
there were 11.7 million cars registered in the country. Meanwhile, for last year, the Nigerian Insurance Association, AIA, said that there were only 3 million auto insurance policies in the country. So there are 8.7 million Nigerian cars on the road without
without
genuine
insurance.
insurance. And since car insurance is mandatory, most of those 8.7 million cars have some paper in their glove compartment right now that
Yeah,
claims to be car insurance. So doesn't
yeah.
that mean that the fake car insurance market right now is bigger than the real car insurance market? How can we reduce that problem?
Well, we keep doing what you are doing at the moment, trying to enlighten the public about the importance of taking or buying the new insurance cover. It is very, very important. Then our law enforcement agencies also should also be enlightened to know that okay, this insurance is genuine, this one is not genuine when they see the certificate. And also the industry has also come up with a platform, they call it NIID, Nigeria Insurance Industry Database,
I see.
where an average consumer of insurance can confirm the genuinity of the certificate that they are carrying.
Okay, you need to say that slowly because my listener is listening right now. They've already bought car insurance or they've given
Yes.
somebody an agent money to buy for them and they're hearing
Okay.
this and they're shaking. So help me make them calm down, eh? Tell us
Okay.
again where they should go. You said is it a website?
It's a website. In fact, you can do it even with your phone.
Okay.
Star 556 star 11 hash. So if you try it, of course it takes you. You can even ask NID. If you go on
On the internet.
Google, you can on the internet. You can just Google it. Ask NID.
Ask
N for
NIID.
Yeah, Nigeria Insurance Industry Data.
Oh, I'm looking at the website right now. www.askniid.org.
Yeah. So if you click it, you just follow the procedures as you have it on that page.
Okay.
It will take you. It will tell you whether the insurance certificate you are carrying
is genuine.
Is genuine or not.
Okay. We'll take a quick break and continue this conversation. If you just joined us, welcome to the show. I've been talking to an insurance expert. He's the Regional Director, Retail West Region at Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC. His name is Mr. Tokwe Ilesami. And he's been telling us why insurance is important. It is important. He's also been telling us about some of the challenges. He's been telling us why you need insurance. And he's also telling us how to get insurance reliably. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't go away.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to Hard Facts.
Lagos, I'm talking insurance on the show. If you have questions, give us a call 01277 0993 01277 1993 01277 2993 and 01277 3993. What questions do you have for the expert who is on my show? He is the Regional Director, Retail West Region at Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC. And he has said, by the way, that if you want to find out if the insurance that you currently have is legit, the current insurance you have is genuine, you can go to www.askniid.org. That's a public database. It's called the National Insurance Industry Database, and it allows you to verify if an insurance policy or an insurer is genuine. So the website again, www.askniid.org. www.askniid.org. Chibueze, hi, welcome to the show.
Good evening, Sandra.
Good evening.
What a good topic you are giving us this evening, and for the professional listening for us, I greet him too.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I will ask him a question. I will make a little contribution. The question is one: apart from the comprehensive insurance we do, there is this other insurance we do that is 5,000. Where does that insurance of that 5,000 start, and where does it end? Because I know that it doesn't cover much. In fact, they will tell you it is nothing. It's just for you to show the police and pass on the road. That is the question. My contribution is this, Sandra. I don't know. Have you seen any terms and agreement condition on a document? Like when you buy a new phone, and then you read the terms and conditions of the phone of returning or no returning. I bet you can read it for 1 or 2 years. You have not finished it. This is what insurance companies in Nigeria do, and it's so tiny that before you finish reading a paragraph or two in it, you'll be bored, you'll be tired. Now, Sandra, let me tell you, at the time I lost my job, I delved into insurance. I did it for 2 weeks and 1 month.
Okay.
I came back home and I knelt down. I said, God, if you don't want to kill me, take me away from this job. Why? You know the reason?
Why?
Any shop I enter, any human beings I enter, they look at you as a man with Ebola. They run away. In fact, they leave the shop and run away until you leave their shop. Yes.
Why?
Many places. Now, let me tell you. I now one day I now started asking them. I wasn't introducing myself as insurance seller again. I started asking the questions. Why is it that we don't like insurance in Nigeria? One, they said because we don't understand what they do. Don't explain it to us. The marketers, when they come, the thing they will tell us is contribute, and if it expires, assuming it is live, they say if you don't die this year, your money is gone. You lose your money. So majority of them think about that. Two, the people who sell the insurance also don't tell us that there are many types of insurances you can buy. For example, as a typical Igbo man, I can never give you my money and then expect not to get back that money by next year. Two, I cannot. Somebody came to me and okay, when I was selling it, I was telling people, somehow you can contribute from now to the next 5 years. After 5 years, you take your money. And then one man asked me, I give you 5 million after 5 years. I said yes. He said, that 5 million within 1 year will yield me 10 million or 20 million. And I don't blame him. I walked away. So there must be a way. If it is not regulated, if it is not compulsory, as it is abroad, you cannot drive your motor if you don't have not just vehicle insurance. You must have insurance that will cover you and cover your life and cover everything and cover even the next person you might see, even in houses. So if the government doesn't make any form of insurance, make it that You must have any form of insurance. If you don't have a car, you have life. If you don't have life, you have your children's education. If you don't have children's education, assuming you're a businessman, you have goods on transit. If the government does not make insurance compulsory, Sandra, we are wasting our time. No person is going to listen to insurance companies.
All right, Chiweze, thanks for calling me. The last call, we're going to take one final call from Engineer Kikiade. Hello, Engineer, welcome.
My sister Sandra, thank you for picking my call.
Yes.
Thank you. Insurance is very important in our life. The most common one, as you said, is this car insurance. And that is the most fraudulent one the dupes use in Nigeria here. No matter how smart you are, I've been duped before. Call it cover note. I'm talking about over 40 years ago.
Okay.
I went to my insurance company on Oboh way in Ikeja. I sat in their office. Did you know that they got my old card for me? It was due for renewal, just for renewal. I knew the office where I did it. They said they are coming. Did you know they went to another building and got me a cover? So they still me. And I was sitting in a proper office. They brought another cover for me, another company. That was almost 40 years ago when I was studying. That is number one. Number, federal government also has insurance company. It's in Abuja, the big insurance. I insured my house in Abuja with them. After 1 year, I did not get renewal notice. They will behave like civil servants. Whereas this is a public company, they will have given you. They will be reminding you when your insurance is about to expire. And no, really, only God is going to save us. So about fire insurance, sir. I know that all shops must have fire insurance. It's very, very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling us. Ms. Elesami, this fake auto insurance problem, it's a big one, and it's happening right under the nose of the authorities and the regulator and the insurance community. We all know it's happening. So why has there not been a crackdown? If the regular motorist can get in contact with the people providing the fake insurance, those people are obviously not difficult to track down. Why are they still operating freely?
You see, we can only put regulations. We are not the one that will do the enforcement. We cannot arrest a man on the road. We can't arrest a motorist on the road now. For instance, I find myself on the street of Lagos. I stop a car. I say, give me your particulars, and he showed me particular. I say, you are not carrying a genuine certificate, so you are under arrest. I don't have such power to do that.
Yes, but I go into a government office. I go into a government office, Mr. Lesami, to renew my vehicle license and other papers. Why are there not notices from the NIA pasted on the walls showing me who to contact?
The industry is trying as much as we can. A few years back, there was this crackdown on all the unstructured, the fake insurance agents everywhere in Lagos and all the major towns and cities in Nigeria. I think about 4 or 5 years ago, there was this crackdown that we were moving from one point to the other, trying to do a campaign, enlightening the people. We are moving from one street to the other, telling people about what the effect of having fake insurances. All the complaints today is all about fake insurances, which most usually we can only create a scientific approach to be able to nip it, to be able to stop it. But unfortunately, we cannot do. We keep enlightening the public. We keep doing what we are supposed to do. The NID is in force now and is working. I'm sure you can try it in your station. You see that it's working. We also created a short code where you can also check whether your insurance is genuine or not.
Share that code with us again.
We also need to update it because it's star 556 star 11 hash.
Okay. Star 556
556
star 11
hash.
Okay. That's the USSD code for checking whether your insurance
for checking whether your insurance is
genuine
or not.
You know,
So,
Mr. Tope, in my preparation for this interview, I read that one of the problems is that NIACOM, the National Insurance Commission, does not have a presence at points of sale for insurance, such as vehicle license offices. Is that the case?
So the NICOM will not have a presence at the point of sales of insurance.
Okay.
NICOM is a regulator. You won't tell a CBN, for instance, to have a presence at the point of deposit or given loan.
Okay.
What they need to do is to create policies that will give the entire industry a direction, and that's exactly what they are doing.
Done.
NICOM is trying to protect the entire consumers of insurance products so that they won't be cheated. We keep wondering why people are still getting cheated. There is news everywhere. We are telling people that insurance is good. Insurance, if you buy a genuine insurance, definitely your policy will give you value. You know, that's what we do. But we keep doing it. We might not have been doing enough as much as maybe the kind of society that we live in would have required. But I am telling you that I joined the industry about 23, 24 years back. Okay. And where I met the industry when I joined is not where we are now. We have moved forward. Fantastic. And we keep improving by the day. The other man that discussed about fraudulent documentation by insurance companies, I think is all about you going to the wrong place to go and buy your insurance products. If you will go to any insurance company, an average insurance as it's where now we are moving to 10 billion naira minimum share capital by next year. But at the moment, we have the least we have in the industry is 3 billion naira. I don't know the kind of card that you'll be using that an insurance company will reach 3 billion naira just because they just wanted to pay a lot on your car.
Now, when Chibueze called in, Mr. Lesami, he said that he asked a question. He said, apart from comprehensive insurance, we do a 5K insurance. Where does it start? Where does that 5K one start and end?
Actually, Mr. Chibueze will actually want to know the various types of cover that exist under motor insurance.
Yes.
The minimum cover you can get for motor insurance that will allow you to move your vehicle legally on Nigerian road is the third party. And that's the one that the price is 5,000 naira for a private vehicle.
What does that cover?
But it covers you against incidences of third-party damages to third-party caused by your car. To a limit of 1 million naira. That is third-party property damage liability. That is 1 million naira limit.
So if somebody bashes my car in traffic, I don't need to start shouting at them.
You don't need to start shouting. You see, when you see, most of these things is just lack of education, lack of knowledge. We really do not know. If I bash your car on the road, I don't know the kind of damage that I will cause the impact of that damage that will cause on your vehicle that will be more than 1 million naira. I don't really need to beg you. All we need to do is to exchange our addresses, give you a sign off that, okay, I accept liability, that I'm the one at fault. As long as you can get that one for me, you can process your claim with my insurance company.
Wow.
It's as simple as that.
Wow. Now, but
it's as simple as that.
But you've heard people talk about insurance companies not paying when they have a claim. We also hear that same complaint from insurance consumers. So there's stories of unpaid claims for fires, for vehicle collisions, even for medical procedures. You know, how big of a problem is that?
I feel that we really like, as Nigerians, we really like to live with that memory of the past that things don't work. We really do not like testing whether it works now.
I see.
You know, so our decision not to test whether it works now or not, is what still makes us to believe that insurance don't work. We are fraudulent. I don't feel so. The other man, the second man, I've forgotten his name. I'm sorry about it. That said, that they are writing. The wording is written in small letters or whatever that they can. That they cannot read.
Yeah.
I think we have moved beyond that level.
Okay.
We have moved beyond that level.
Okay.
Insurance documents now are written in bold letters.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we are trying to reduce the number of papers that we need to give our clients, so that we will encumber them with this job of writing. That's exactly what we do now. We have gone beyond that level.
So you're saying that it's not a problem. Staking your claim isn't a problem anymore.
No. Because no insurance company will want to lose its license because of a $1 million claim. Why won't I pay? Because if you have a claim and you report me, there is a platform where you can report the insurance company if insurance company refuse to pay your claim.
Where's the platform?
You can write to the regulators. And of course, there is a customer issues resolution center even on their platform that you can drop your complaints there, and they will follow it up.
This is NICOM,
We've had cases. Yes.
Okay.
We've had cases like that, and you see the punishment for a little, no matter how small that infraction may be, is quite great.
Okay.
It's as much as $1 billion. It's as much as seizing your license.
Okay.
Yes, I'm telling you. So insurance, the customer should be more confident now to buy insurance products.
Okay.
Because there is.
Let's take a few more calls so that people will ask the questions that they have, because we have 5 minutes left. We're going to have this conversation on another day because it's a really big conversation and there's so much to talk about, right? Mr. Elasami, are you willing to come back on the show for us to talk about it some more?
Definitely, yes.
All right, so let me take more calls now. Hello,
can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Sam. I'm calling from Ugudu.
Go ahead, Sam.
Thank you for this wonderful topic you brought up today. I just want to say quickly, like your guest has been saying over the radio, many of us, or like me, it took many years before I realized that the 5K insurance we've been buying can actually give us some mileage in terms of claim to a third party. I didn't know for many years. Many years. And then many of us also live in... I bought insurance and someone hit my car and I went to fix the car myself. Yeah. And then the second one happened. It became bigger, and then my mechanic told me, bros, you have insurance for your car? I said, yes. That's what they should do. Then he helped me. He told me how to go about it, and then I contacted him. I made the claim. So oftentimes our knowledge, is also one of the things is limited. So with a lot of education needs to happen. And we need to know. Many drivers don't know that 5K gives them some mileage. And then another problem that is there is nobody wants to get police involved in anything, because we know what they will do. They will give Yazoo bottleneck, and then insurance will ask where's police report when the incident happened, and you don't want to policeman will then ask you for money to write a report. We know that, even though they will deny that, but we know that's what they do. So those are the things that the insurance company now needs to come into. So you don't need to insist on police reports before you attend to my claim, because police report is one of the reasons why people will not even have a grant to make a claim.
All right, Sam, thanks for calling me. Thank you so much for sharing your own personal experience. Balogun is in Badagry. Balogun, hi.
Hello.
Welcome. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you today?
Very well. How are you?
Very well.
Go ahead.
I'm calling on behalf of a friend.
Okay.
Who made, I think, an investment for over a year.
Okay.
And adding up to about 1.9 million. This is not even maybe an insurance for anything, but it was a monthly investment of 50,000 naira.
Okay.
With an insurance company, to be precise, Niger Insurance.
Okay.
The investment got matured last year, August.
Okay.
But even as we speak, he has not been able to get his even principal, not even the interest now.
Okay.
The principal. That is his own contribution.
Okay.
I helped him to write to NICOM.
Okay.
I helped him to write to Consumer Protection Agency, that's CPC.
Okay.
And up till as we speak, nothing has been done.
Hmm.
And will such an individual have the confidence to do any other investment or any other insurance with any insurance company in Nigeria? I don't think so.
Mr. Ilesami, what do you say to that? What else can he do?
Well, I just want to sympathize with my brother, Mr. Balogun. I feel your heart, the way you are talking, and I can tell you that I'm sure everybody is listening to this program.
That's right.
The MG of Niger Insurance, I'm sure, is equally listening to this particular program. One thing we do in the industry, maybe after now, the producer can help me. You can send my number to him.
Okay.
Let him contact me.
Okay.
We really do not work based on contacts, but I'm sure something is wrong. I may not be able to make a statement now because I really do not have a proper briefing on this particular case, but I'm sure it's just one of those cases that come once in a while, but we'll get to the root of it. But you can give him my number, let him contact me. I will try as much as possible to get in touch with the MD or the people in Niger Insurance. Niger Insurance is obviously a very good insurance company.
Okay.
This news is actually strange. We'll investigate it. There are possibilities. We've had issues in the industries that caused by agents. Sometimes you have these agents going around collecting money from people and telling people that they are doing the remittance is done to the insurance companies, and maybe at the point when you want to get your contribution, these kind of issues also come up. I had our time is fast spent.
Yes, it is.
But my personal experience, remember in those days in Kano, I met a client who said that he had insurance, a GIT insurance with a particular insurance company, and he had a claim. He's been paying premium in the last 4 years, but the year he had a claim, his claim was not attended to. I said, okay, I became so much interested that I give me this your document, and I found out. I realized that he paid to an agent who was not remitting this premium to the insurance company.
Wow.
But unfortunately, when the problem will come up, it's the name of the insurance company people will hear.
In that case,
they will hear the
happens?
name of the insurance.
In that case, what happens?
Of course, I made the boy to pay that money.
Okay.
I made him to pay that money. The customer that I'm talking about is still our client, the client of my company, till today in Kano.
All right.
Because he will never forget it.
Let's wrap this conversation here. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Mr. Lasami, thank you so much for educating us today. We're going to bring you back because more Nigerians have more questions, more complaints, and you are the guy who's going to provide all these answers for us. Mr. Lasami is on the show today as our expert helping us understand insurance. He is the regional director, Retail West Region at Consolidated Hallmark Insurance PLC. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
On the show today, we've had so many conversations. Started with the big three, where I told you that the Senate has reintroduced the hate speech bill. We also told you that the House of Reps condemned the ban on open filling stations 20 kilometers from the border. And I told you about this young man, this young corps member who has gone blind because he was shot during a traffic robbery. On Community Report today, we had a very real conversation about the plights of domestic staff. It was heart-wrenching. And you've just heard Ms. Elasemi, an insurance expert, teach us about why we need insurance. Coming up, conversations with Rufai on the other side of 6 o'clock, after the news at 6, of course. I am Sandra Ezekwesili. Talk to me online. I like to talk online. I like to tweet a lot. Ezekwesili, that's my Twitter. You can find me on Facebook as well, Sandra Ezekwesili. Instagram is Ezekwesili. Until tomorrow at 3:15, those were your hard facts, Lagos. Good night.
99.3 Nigeria Info.